All right, let's get right into it. We spend a lot of time talking about being book smart, but what about a different kind of smart? I'm talking about emotional intelligence, or EQ. And honestly, this might just be the most important skill for, well, pretty much everything in your life.
And that's a really important question to ask yourself. Because this isn't about being more emotional. Not at all. It's about being smarter with the emotions you already have. And that right there, that's the whole idea we're going to break down today.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, what is emotional intelligence? Then we'll build it up step by step. We start with knowing yourself, then mastering your emotions, then connecting with other people, and finally, how to make all of this a real, lasting habit.
So let's put a clear definition on it. At its core, EQ is basically a four-step process. First, you have to recognize what you're actually feeling. Then, you got to understand why you're feeling it. Next up, you manage that feeling so it doesn't run the show. And finally, you use all that knowledge to understand and deal with other people's emotions too.
Okay, to really get our heads around this, let's look at a super helpful blueprint for how EQ is structured.
This framework breaks it all down into 5 key pieces. And what's really important is the order. See how it starts inside you with self-awareness. From there, you move to self-regulation and motivation. Only then do we look outward to empathy and social skills. You have to get the inside right first. We're going to walk through each one of these.
All right, first things first, we have to lay the foundation. And that foundation is self-awareness. Seriously, this is the absolute bedrock. Everything else is built on top of this.
And this quote just nails it. Think about it, right? How can you possibly manage an emotion if you don't even know it's there? It's impossible. So just recognizing what's going on inside you, that is step 1. There's no skipping it.
So how do we actually do this? Well, it all starts with getting way more specific. We all fall into this trap, right? We just say something vague like, I'm so stressed. But what does that even mean? It's too big, too fuzzy. It doesn't give you anything to actually work with.
So instead, try this little technique called name it to tame it. You ask yourself, okay, am I just stressed? Or is what I'm really feeling frustration? Am I anxious? Maybe I'm overwhelmed. Or even resentful. And here's the magic part. Science literally shows that the simple act of putting a specific name to an emotion calms down the part of your brain that's freaking out. You get more control just by naming it.
And there are other ways to build this self-awareness muscle. You could try keeping a super simple journal. Just note down, I felt X when Y happened. Start to notice your hot buttons, the things that just consistently get a rise out of you. And hey, if you're feeling brave, you can ask a friend you trust how you come across when you're under pressure. It's all just data.
Okay, so once you start getting better at seeing your emotions, the next step is actually managing them. This is where we start building the frame on top of our foundation.
And the whole key to managing your emotions, to self-regulation, is this one powerful idea. Something happens, right? That's the trigger. An email, a comment, whatever. And the goal isn't to get rid of triggers. That's impossible. The goal is to create a little bit of space between that trigger
And create this, the pause. This right here, this is your secret weapon. It's that tiny little gap in time where you can go from just blindly reacting to consciously choosing how you want to respond.
And your response. So now the sequence is trigger, pause, response. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that learning to create that pause can completely change your life.
So how do you actually get better at this? Well, a few things. You can reframe your thoughts. Instead of, this is a complete disaster, try, okay, this is a challenge I can handle. You can also use your body. Just taking 3 slow, deep breaths can work wonders on your nervous system. Or you can lean on your values. If one of your core values is respect, that can be the anchor that helps you choose a respectful response instead of just lashing out.
And look, mastering your emotions isn't just about calming the bad stuff. It's also about using them to fuel you. That nervous energy you feel before a presentation, you can channel that into being extra prepared. That disappointment from a setback, you can use it to find the lesson and become more resilient. You can even build momentum by celebrating tiny little wins along the way. The point is, your emotions can become your fuel, not your enemy.
All right, so we've done a lot of work on our inner world. Now it's time to open up the windows and start looking outward. This is all about connecting with other people, and that means empathy and social skills.
Think of empathy as the bridge that connects you to other people. And it really starts with listening. But I mean really listening. Not just waiting for your turn to talk, but listening to truly understand. Watch for the nonverbal stuff too, the tone of voice, the body language. And here's a pro tip: validate their feelings. You don't have to agree with them to say something like, "Wow, I can see why that would be so frustrating." It just shows you get it, and that's huge.
And you can see how powerful this is when it comes to how we talk to each other. Just look at the difference here. When you say, "You missed the deadline," what happens? Instant defense mode. But if you shift to an I statement like, "I feel concerned when the deadline is missed because," see, you're not attacking them, you're explaining the impact. It's a complete game changer, especially in tough conversations.
And all of this, the self-awareness, the self-control, the empathy, it all comes together right here in your social skills. It's about actually being present when you're with someone, not scrolling on your phone. It's being able to take feedback without crumbling. It's about tackling the problem in a conflict, not the person. And it's about giving real, specific compliments that actually mean something.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great, but how do you actually do it? How do you make it a real habit? Well, let's talk about a daily maintenance plan.
The trick here is to not overthink it. Start super small. Maybe in the morning you spend just 2 minutes setting an intention, like, "Today I will try to pause before I react." Then, throughout the day, just take these little micro pauses to notice how you're feeling. And at night, maybe 5 minutes in a journal to think about one moment and how you handled it. See, it's not a huge time commitment. It's all about small, consistent practice.
And while you're doing this, it really helps to keep a few key ideas in mind. First, remember this is a skill, not something you're born with. You can learn it. Second, aim for progress, not perfection. You're going to have off days, and that's totally okay. And try to be curious about your emotions, not judgmental. The goal isn't to stop feeling angry or sad. It's to understand why you feel that way and what it's trying to tell you.
So I want to leave you with this one last idea. What if you started thinking of your emotions as data? Just pure information. Frustration, happiness, anxiety, it's all just data telling you something about what's going on inside you and around you. So the real question isn't whether you're emotional. The real question is, are you listening?